Hugo Chavez's cancer has returned. The Venezuelan president will go to Cuba once again to undergo more surgery. Doctors in Havana removed a cancerous tumor from Mr. Chavez last year, but the president's doctors in Caracas recently detected more malignant cells. Mr. Chavez says, should his health worsen, Vice President Nicolas Maduro should replace him.
Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez will undergo another cancer operation in Cuba today after doctors said more malignant cells were found. The socialist leader has travelled to the island for treatment on 3 previous occasions. He had just returned after a 3-week absence on Friday. The new surgery raises doubts about his future in office after winning a new 6-year term in October. He campaigned the election on the basis that he was free from cancer. On Saturday, Chavez told his supporters to vote for Vice President Nicolas Maduro if his health were to deteriorate. It was the first time the 58-year-old had named a successor. Maduro, a former bus driver and trade unionist, has been a strong supporter of Chavez and has been at his side during the cancer treatment.
A somber moment for President Hugo Chavez. He tells his cabinet and his country the results of his latest health check were not good.
Unfortunately, in that exhaustive medical exam, the presence of new malignant cells appears in the same affected area. That has forced us to review the diagnosis, the development of the treatment, to consult experts, and it's been decided it's absolutely essential for me to submit myself to a new surgery, and that should occur in the next few days.
Hugo Chavez has been receiving advanced treatment for cancer in Cuba since the middle of last year. The 58-year-old president has already had 3 operations. He only returned from his latest trip there on Friday and will have to go back on Monday for more treatment.
I think that's the most significant thing about this announcement this time round. When the very first time he mentioned cancer, when he first announced he had it back in June 2011, you know, he wasn't the confident president that we're used to seeing. He wasn't the charismatic public speaker that we're used to seeing, and you could see that he was obviously a little scared and frightened by the situation. From that moment on, throughout his chemotherapy and radiotherapy and surgeries and so forth, he remained very much more upbeat. He said he'd beaten the disease. He went on the campaign trail this year for presidential elections, and he seemed very much as if he'd overcome it. Now we're seeing again a little bit more, you know, the emotional side of the president, the fact that he mentioned a successor. He suggested to his supporters that they should get behind his vice president, Nicolas Maduro, if he shouldn't be able to continue as president. That all points to the fact that he himself now is starting to see that he may not be able to continue on as president for another 6-year term, which is what he won in those presidential elections back in October.